Spectrum Mobile now has the new iPhone 13 with 5G, and when you get 2 or more lines, you get unlimited data for just $29.
All right, everybody, hang on just a minute. We'll get started. Takes me just a minute to get the stream started. There we go. So I wanted to take everybody on a little bit of a tour here of some of the aftermath of this winter storm. So I want to start down here in Plymouth. And you can see here several inches of snow. We're right up along the water here. Keep in mind there was nothing here Friday night. Everything is new snowfall. We still got sea spray on the truck. I can't get it off. That I can get off. This is a power running board. It's supposed to retract. It can't. It's just coated. And but you can see that here in Plymouth they've done an excellent snow removal job. This road was nearly impassable yesterday at this time. We'll go driving around too. We're gonna head back up toward Boston here shortly. And take a look. About 2 feet of snow in the Boston area, Brockton area. Let's take a look at the rock. You can see that, like I said, this is all snowfall from yesterday. There's the rock. The Pilgrim Rock or whatever. But yeah, there's a lot of snow out here. And we'll go take a look at some parking lots that haven't been plowed yet so you can get an idea, but excellent snow removal job out here. We were streaming live for I think like 12 and a half hours yesterday. So we'll get back in the truck because it's extremely cold out here. It's really bitter cold. And we'll go take a look around. Now that I'm back in the vehicle here, I'll look at chat. I'll get the phone back in the thing here. I appreciate everybody who's been kind of following us along here with this. It's been an interesting storm. Okay, so we'll get going in just a second here. Yeah, I think the storm performed right on with what we were thinking it was going to perform. Let me read the chat here. Did I find a Dairy Queen? No, I did not. I just went to bed. Yeah, the roads are in excellent shape. think the official total in Boston was like 24 inches or something. So I actually am supposed to be on. I was actually supposed to be getting ready to get on a flight right now to go home, but American Airlines canceled all their stuff out of Boston today. At least anything going to the Midwest, so that sucks. So I'm stuck here another day, and I'm not gonna pay $300 a night for that Hilton hotel that's at the airport in Boston. So I'm gonna keep the rental vehicle here one more day, and I thought about, well, maybe I should just drive the rental home and just return it at the Madison airport and pick up my car. So I called them. I called Budget, and finally got through to somebody. And my God, apparently I'm not going to be doing that. They wanted to charge me $700 additional to do that. I think this truck's like $110 a day or whatever, and that's fine. I expected that. But then they wanted to charge me $700 for a fee to return it to a different location, and I thought that was ridiculous. So I said, the heck with that. And then I do have the damage waiver on it, so I'm not gonna lie, it crossed my mind. I thought about just driving it home and showing up with it and saying, here's the keys, deal with it, but then they'll probably come after me or something, so I figured better not. So got my flight changed to Monday morning. But this rental vehicle's been a roundabout. I've never used Budget before. I typically almost always use Enterprise, and I don't know why I didn't use Enterprise this time. I think I don't know, my brain wasn't thinking. I just kind of did whatever. But yeah, normally with Enterprise I don't have that issue. They charge like I think they call it a drop fee. They'll charge like $150 or $200 depending on the vehicle if you take it back somewhere else, which I suppose is fair. But it's $700 additional. That is ridiculous. So yeah, I'm not gonna just drive it home, which is unfortunate because I was actually kind of banking on that. I woke up this morning with the mentality of I'm just gonna drive this thing home. So right through here yesterday is where yesterday we were kind of sort of struggling to drive around. The plows weren't keeping up with this main road here in Plymouth. Go down here to this little boat ramp thing. This was all flooded out yesterday, storm surge. Do you think tornado season will be good? I hope so. I really do. This is where the Rax pole was. Oklahoma University, OU, has a weather radar on wheels. And they had it parked right over here to the left of the screen yesterday. Look at the sea spray on this cable. I mean, drive right up to it. That cable, there's a lot of sea spray. Inch thick of ice. But yeah, this was all underwater yesterday. From some surge, and also I think a lot of it was kind of the spray too, but this was just a mess yesterday. Oh Jesus, there's a bird duck thing, seagull, whatever. But yeah, this was all flooded out yesterday. I was a little nervous driving into it because I wasn't 100% sure if there was ice under it or what. Now everybody's coming in to look. Just a lot of snow from this storm, and it's amazing how quick the roads got cleaned up. Because as you'll see here, a lot of the highways are in excellent shape. But the Holiday Inn I stayed at did have breakfast, and it wasn't bad. It didn't have much though. But oh well. massive piles of snow. I was talking to some people at the hotel last night, and they were all saying that they thought that this storm was a big miss, and that they were really disappointed with the underperforming snow totals. And I have no idea what they were talking about, because, like I said, there's 2 feet of snow in Boston, and down here there's probably about 2 feet of snow seems to be pretty much across the board here. So yeah, they were talking about that they thought that they only got like 8 inches of snow, and I'm like, 8 inches of snow? Are you kidding me? A hell of a lot more than 8 inches of snow here. But this is right here is where we were yesterday. We had a view right there pointing over at those benches for about an hour while I had some lunch. It's amazing the difference that 24 hours makes. 48 hours ago on Friday at this time, there was nothing here, no snow, no anything. It just amazes me how quick this all changed. Went from nothing to something, back to nothing. Yeah, Central Illinois is probably going to get some snow this week, though. Probably be out chasing that. I'm not sure. I have to decide. I usually don't go after these snowstorms unless there's going to be like a major travel impact like there was here, just because otherwise you're just driving around in 3 inches of snow for an hour, or for hours, and that gets boring. But I might be out. It's close enough to home anyway. I gotta get home first. I'm a little nervous because it seems like I have terrible luck flying. For example, American Airlines just keeps kind of screwing me over here. I understand them canceling the flights today, but like just getting out here, they kept changing the flight. The flight kept getting delayed, then it would cancel, and then they would reschedule. It was just a pain. And they about left me in North Carolina because they couldn't, my connecting flight, they actually moved it up. So I had like 20 minutes to get out of the plane and then into another plane, and it was just a pain. Could have been the airport's fault too, I don't know, but I usually fly with Delta, but they were really expensive going on to Milwaukee, so I went on to Madison. Yeah, so this is Plymouth, and I will try to get us back to the area where I saw a bunch of unplowed parking lots to show you how much snow that we got, because it wasn't disturbed by the wind. There's no drifts in the parking lots. It's just pure snow from the snowfall. Yeah, we could have a severe weather event down in the southeast with this upcoming snowstorm, so I'll have to decide what I'm going to do. It's been an active couple of weeks. But yeah, I had a lot of fun live streaming yesterday. Yeah, everybody's going to be digging out for a while, that's for sure. A lot of the businesses, though, that were closed yesterday are back open. I went past a couple of McDonald's that only had like a partially plowed parking lot, but they were open, so. But this was a good spot to intercept this storm. I thought about staying in Boston because it would have been, that's where the newsworthy snowfall was happening, because, the airport and the mass transit and everything. But I'm glad I came down here. We really got to experience that raw wind coming off of the water. Yeah, poll if about which I should chase. I've done that in the past on like the YouTube community page, and I'm not sure what I'm going to end up doing, but I may see what everybody wants me to do. Sometimes when I'm indecisive, unless it looks like a major tornado outbreak or something, which it doesn't. It looks like a pretty low-end threat, but I would rather take a drive down there and be in the warmer temperatures, that's for sure. I'm sick of the cold. But right through here is where that flooding was yesterday from where this little canal or river or whatever swelled up. It was about almost a foot of water across the road right here. You're 15 minutes away and got over 2 feet. I believe it. Yeah, there's a lot of snow, and it's hard to really tell just from traveling. You know, if you were just driving through here, you might not notice it, but you start looking at the piles everywhere. There's 4.5 to 5 foot walls of snow on the side of Highway 3 coming down here. A lot of traffic, probably people looking at everything. I'd be sitting here a while. Maybe not. Some of these little gas stations though around are not open. They haven't even been plowed yet. But if you look at the piles of the snow on the side of the road, you can really, I mean, you can tell there was a lot of snow that fell. I think the snow really wound down last night from what I could tell. At least when I got up into the Brockton, Randolph area where I stayed. It pretty much totally stopped after like 9:30, 10 o'clock. Let's move this way. Yes. There was still a good 20-mile-an-hour wind though most of the night, kind of blowing it around. thought this parking lot hadn't been plowed yet, but it has. Alright, we'll go back to that Holiday Inn because the Ford dealership that was next to it hadn't even been plowed yet. And with all the cars in the lot, you can really tell the amount of snow. I'm not sure what the status of the airport is. I don't know if American Airlines just canceled all their flights out of there today or what, but I know I was watching Twitter and a lot of other storm chasers are already home. And there's like 4 or 5 of them on there that had tweeted that they were either getting on a plane this morning or... Oh man, this is going to be interesting. They're either getting on a plane this morning or they were already home. You know, guys, you probably shouldn't walk in front of me because it's a pretty slippery hill here. Kind of surprised they were able to stop down there. But, oh yeah, people out sledding, I'm not surprised. They were, a couple of them were already home, so they must have... I don't know, other airlines must be flying out of there. I'm guessing they probably just canceled their, maybe their low priority flights, I don't know. They tried to put me on a flight tomorrow night to fly from Boston to Dallas back to Madison. It's like, I am not going to go have a connecting flight in Dallas. That's crazy. I mean, if I had to, I would, but I was able to get them to up it until for something in the morning. What's going on here? Yeah, I like parking in the middle of the road too. It's fun. But I do know that yesterday there wasn't anything going in or out of that airport yesterday during this, that's for sure. So I'll have to figure out what hotel I'm going to stay at tonight. Probably see if I can find something somewhat close to the airport. I'll have to pick, I guess. Yeah, just driving down the road, if you looked only at the road, you wouldn't know there was a snowstorm yesterday. But yeah, if we ever get another one of these nor'easters that forms and takes a path just like that one did, I'll absolutely come back to this town. This was a great spot to document this. I tried to drive around a little bit, you know, if you were watching yesterday, you noticed we went up to like Brockton and stuff a couple of times, but it can get pretty tiring and boring driving around for 12 and a half hours straight, so it's kind of nice to have a spot to come back to. So this area worked out really well. It's just it's pretty easy to access, and they keep up with the roads pretty good. adjust the mount here so it stops making that noise. Oh, I was supposed to turn there. Great. A lot of these cars are just, just buried in. This guy's got a bumper sticker that says use your blinker. I think these guys might need a little bit bigger front end loader for all this snow. Man, look at this. That's cool. Jesus. Not like there was a stop sign there or anything. The trees are really pretty. Let's see if I can get a picture of this out the window since nobody's behind us. Yeah, I was not in this area yesterday. I wish I would have known, or maybe come over into this part of town, because we could have probably drove through here. I bet the plow didn't even touch this while it was snowing. We could have really got a good sample of the snowfall. This is like the one and only street in town that we didn't drive on. Take a look at this, maybe it wasn't that one, it's this next one. Take a look at the Ford dealership here and then we'll go across the street. Actually, let's do the Ford dealership first. You can really see the snowfall total here. I scoped this out here on the way down. Check this out. Of course, now everybody and their brother's pulling in. Probably confusing these poor people. Probably think I'm driving one of their cars or something, or at work here. Look at the snow in front of their service doors. Holy cow. This is definitely the most snow that I've seen from a storm that I've covered, I think. This is bringing back memories of the Walmart parking lot again, though. Yeah, this is just ridiculous. So parking lot over here really kind of caught my eye. Yeah, I guess I'm glad I don't have to clean up after any of this. This will take forever. Spin the camera some. No, we're still in Plymouth. Yeah, power outages. I never did look at like a power outage map or anything, but you know, there was a lot of places without power while the storm was going on, but it really seems like a lot of that got resolved pretty quick. Because like last night when I was driving up through like the Brockton area and everything, all the power seemed like it was back on. Let me just get the address for this hotel I think I'm going to stay at tonight, and I'm going to put that in. GPS here. We'll head back up toward the Boston area here. Okay. So we've seen the snow-covered Pilgrim Rock, or whatever. I'm sure that's good for ratings. I don't know if anybody caught what Reed's obsession was with that rock the other day, but I didn't realize he was over there until he started posting all these videos. And I was parked in the parking lot next to that. On Friday, he was obsessed with that rock. I don't know what the backstory is with the rock. I don't know. And then I made comment about it in the stream yesterday at one point about that rock, and everybody in the comments was just freaking out. Oh, that's the Plymouth Rock or whatever. Okay. And somebody made comment that they wanted me to get out and they wanted to actually see the rock on the stream, and like 8 or 9 people like instantly jumped in and demanded that I get out and show this rock. And I wasn't quite sure what the big obsession with the rock was. I don't know why everybody wanted to see the rock on the stream, but probably should have went out to what the hell's the name? Provincetown. But I just don't think we're gonna get out there. Could have had a really good spot to intercept that storm out there in Provincetown. But just didn't get out there. Looked like it was going to be a pain to get out there and back. They didn't get as much snow out there as here, and I wanted to kind of stay for the big snow. And like 99-mile-an-hour winds out there, though. Didn't see a whole lot of stuck vehicles yesterday either. I kind of thought that when we were going up and down the highway, we'd come across people stuck left and right. But some civil engineer or something, or some university needs to go through and like look at the storm and how infrastructure was handled, because it seems like it was handled really well out here. I mean, yeah, there was big travel impacts and everything, but it wasn't this big crippling event like it could have been. And that's not because the storm was underperforming. It seemed like the infrastructure was overperforming almost. You know, everybody did such a great job managing it. I think a big aspect and a big reason for that, though, is because it took place on the weekend. And a lot of times we see these big crippling blizzards take place during the week. But either way, yeah, having them telling the semis and everything to get off the road, yeah, that was probably a good thing. Saw several of them though anyway. But yeah, I saw I don't know if anyone saw the meltdown that I caused on social media. I took a picture last night out of my hotel window of a snowdrift that had like totally covered up a car beneath the window. And the sodium lights outside, like in the parking lot, those yellow sodium lights, and they made the snow look a little bit green. And somebody retweeted the picture and made comments that it must be like acid rain, but it was acid snow because it was snot colored. And I kind of broke the internet for a couple of minutes. It looked like everybody was freaking out trying to figure out why this snow was green, and then I just commented on there. I'm like, guys, it's the lights. Like, it's not that big of a deal. I didn't realize I was going to break the internet when I posted that. Then some lady from one of the news stations around here contacted me on Twitter asking if she could use the picture because it was so unusual, and she wanted to know where it was taken. And I'm like, lady, it's not that unusual. There's snowdrifts all over the place. And she's like, well, it's green. I'm like, I don't know why you people think it's green. It's the light. Like, come on. I didn't let her use it. I told her she could pay for it. These news people, when you take a really good picture, they can pay for it because, you know, for example, I think I burnt like $1,200 coming out here to do this. They can pay for the picture. Yeah, of everything I posted yesterday, that got the most attention with the green snow, even though it wasn't really green. But they were out there hand shoveling parts of my hotel parking lot last night because they had a plow there, but I don't think they could get through a lot of the drifts, so they were out there hand shoveling it. And I felt really bad for those guys. There's only 3 guys out there. For like, well, when I got there at about 9, they were going at it, and I went to bed at about 1:30 this morning, and they were still out there shoveling. So I don't know how long they were out there, but I feel really bad for them. Wow, this guy's in a hurry. Like we're doing 10 over and he's doing like 30 over. So we'll keep the stream up for another half hour. We'll pull off at an exit up here and look at things. But if you pay attention there to the wall of snow on the sides of the road, I know somebody's going to say, oh, that's from the snowplow. Yeah, I know it's from the snowplow. But to get a 4-foot wall of snow like that, you've got to have a lot of snow. But I think the snowfall forecast map was pretty much right on, though. At least the one. Like last night, the whole front of the truck had like inches of ice thick on it, like over the headlights and stuff, and it's got LED headlights, so they don't get warm like the old just coated over it, and they weren't even working. It was just a pain. This rental's falling apart though. It's got every single warning light on the dash. There's so much snow packed in the wheels that it's vibrating horribly. We're headed toward Boston. Just taking a look at all this snow. We were just down in Plymouth, where we intercepted most of the snowstorm yesterday. No littering. All right. Yeah, this thing's only got 21,000 miles on it. You wouldn't think every light would be on the dash, but yeah, and you'd also think that maybe it happened, you know, for the snowstorm without the snow and ice and stuff, but no, it actually, like, all these lights started coming on after I got about 3 miles out of the airport with it on Friday, and warning lights don't really bother me, especially when it's not my car, so I just kept driving it. I just did not want to take it back and go through the process again. And I did mention that on the phone. And it was funny because the lady on the phone is like, well, if you drive it home and there's a problem, you know, just call us and, you know, we'll arrange another one. And it's like, well, if you're so willing to just give me another one, why don't you just let me take it home? But it was funny. When I picked this thing up, it was an older guy that was helping me. And, you know, I was explaining to him why I needed a four-wheel drive and not just like an all-wheel drive Camry or something. I told him, like, I need a truck with four-wheel drive. I don't care if it's a pickup, I don't care if it's a Tahoe, I don't care what it is, but I want four-wheel drive. And I told him I'm here for the snowstorm, and I told him I was just basically going to be driving around until I couldn't drive around anymore, you know, because, like, cars getting stuck in the middle of the road or something. And he said, oh, yeah, you just go around them on the shoulder. You got four-wheel drive. Just drive right around them on the shoulder. Just go right off the road and go right around them. I'm like, well, that is probably the dumbest advice I've ever gotten from a rental car company. But it's like, here, I'm a rental car company. I'm going to tell you to take our car and just plow through the frickin' snowbanks off the side of the road. And you know darn well if I would have done that and gotten stuck, they probably would not have covered it. But I thought that was pretty funny. I'm assuming that guy probably doesn't drive a four-wheel drive vehicle, because these newer four-wheel drive vehicles, even though they're big, they still sit so low to the ground. There's like no ground clearance, like 3 inches of snow, you get stuck anyway. I have a really, really old Jeep with 37-inch tires on it, and it's huge. It sits like 3 feet off the ground, and I really, really wanted to bring that out, but I just don't trust it. It's a piece of crap. I don't think it would make it. For the amount of money this trip cost, though, I could have trailered the darn thing out here. Stuff on the East Coast here gets expensive. But that is the advantage of the rental vehicle. I mean, if we would have got it stock, at least it wasn't my tow bill. I know a couple of storm chasers that actually got stuck yesterday. Not just a little bit stuck, but like actually stuck. There was a group of 3 guys, and I won't be mean enough to say who they were, but they ended up getting stuck somewhere just southwest of Boston, I guess. On an off-ramp or whatever. Like stuck. I guess they were shoveling out for like a good hour. Drive the mail, yeah, the mail trucks, yeah, they go through anything. I actually thought about just, because like Enterprise, they have, Enterprise has a pretty good selection. Sometimes you can just rent a Jeep from them. I thought about just renting a Jeep. Budget, never again after this. You know, I understand the fee to take it back, but like there was no customer service, like no budging or anything. I figured they'd be like, oh, well, we'll give you $100 off or whatever, or something, like, as a courtesy. Because I told the lady, I'm like, you know, this is kind of a pain. I was really nice. I'm like, you know, this isn't your fault, but American Airlines canceled all my flights and booked them later, and I just don't want to stay here, blah, blah, blah. There's a snowstorm, you know, it's snow apocalypse, all this. Can you just, like, let me drop it off somewhere else? She's like, nope, $700. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. And then she proceeds to pre-authorize my credit card for it too. She's like, okay, well, I will go through with that, and yeah, so I'll just put that on the card on file. And I'm like, no, you're not. It's like, hold on, hold your horses. I did some research on why that is, and apparently it's pretty common with these airport rentals, because a lot of times they will actually, especially with these like premium vehicles like this, they'll actually pay an auto transport service to transport the vehicle back. Or they will specifically like try to get a customer that's coming this way to do it one way because they want the airport vehicles at the airport, and I get it. But I also asked her, I'm like, could you just rent me like a cheap, crappy economy car, like a little manual transmission, like piece of junk or something, just to get home? And she's like, yep, $500. I'm like, $500 for a one-way rental on like a Toyota Corolla or something? You gotta be kidding me. The heck with that. A 2005 Liberty, yeah, those things go through anything. I've had pretty good luck with my Fusion though. It's handled mud roads pretty well. I got it stuck once back on May 25th or something. I don't know. I got it pretty stuck. And I got it stuck at the fault of another storm chaser on the road. I was at the top of a muddy hill, and you could just tell when you were at the top of the hill looking down that it was just not good. But this chaser was coming up the hill, and I needed them to move to the side a little bit so that I could turn around, and they refused, and I couldn't, so I had no way to back up, so I just had to go straight. And I knew I was going to get stuck and got stuck. I eventually got myself out, but it was 45 minutes to an hour of just, you know, forward and reverse, back and forth, making these, you know, 30-point turns and trying to not go in the ditch. I started taking my tire chains with on all trips though, because my thought is, if I'm in the mud and if the vehicle can move, but it just can't quite get up the hill, I'll throw the damn tire chains on. I don't care if it's snow, I'll use them in the mud. I did that once when I was in high school with a truck and it worked fine, so. But that car's done very well. A lot of it's tires, and I keep some pretty good tires on it, but I do kind of miss having a four-wheel drive just because it makes the storm chases a little bit easier in some of these more rural areas like western Oklahoma and the Texas Panhandle especially. A ton of snow here there too. Shingles. I've never heard of that one, but the kitty litter, absolutely. I bought a couple of bags at Walmart of the cheap dollar kitty litter to keep in here because obviously I can't take it home, so I'll have to just throw it away somewhere, I guess. Or stop at a gas station. When I'm at a gas station, maybe I'll ask somebody at the pump if they got cats and want some free cat litter. But I did bring some here in the rental just in case. But I'm just so used to driving that front-wheel drive car that, the mud doesn't really bother me. I'll take that in places I probably shouldn't and be just all right. When you turn the traction control off, it doesn't do too bad. You get enough wheel spin. That's kind of the luxury of having the four-wheel drive here, especially for the snowstorm chasing. But I will always rent a vehicle with four-wheel drive, even if it's a local snowstorm at home. And if it's going to dump more than a foot, or if I don't think the plows will keep up, I'll always rent something. It's cheaper to spend a little bit of money renting a large SUV or something with four-wheel drive than it is to get your car stuck, so. Am I on Route 3? Yeah, I believe so. Well, my carry-on luggage has some rocks in it. I picked up some rocks on the beach. I hope TSA doesn't, make me throw them away or something. I don't know if they'll think they're a weapon or what, but I inconspicuously left them in the pockets of one of my pants so that if they have a problem or something with the rocks, I'll be like, oh, I forgot about them, sorry. Airport security where I'm from is a little more lenient than out here, I think. Going through airport security in Madison is pretty simple. Except, like I said yesterday, the GoPro batteries and stuff, they were throwing a fit about all. I have 10 GoPro batteries, and they were throwing a fit about it. And I kept telling them, I'm like, there's nothing wrong. The batteries have to be under 100 watt hours or amp hours or something, and they are. But they were just questioning the heck out of it. I wasn't sure why, because I've taken those through airport security before. Nobody ever even cared. So I don't know what the deal was with that. Still haven't decided what lunch is going to be. Many of you followed the North Carolina food poisoning incident / storm chase. So I haven't been eating fast food since. So I'm going to see if I can find a small place here to get a cheeseburger or something. You know what? It seems like it's cheaper almost to not eat fast food. Like where we live, my fiance and I, we will go to this little, it's a bar / restaurant. It's super old. But I can get, as dumb as it sounds, I order a kid's meal because the kid's meal is just an adult meal, but with a cheaper price. but we'll always order it for carry out. So I'll get a cheeseburger with Swiss cheese on it and French fries, and it's $5.25. And if you go to like McDonald's or Dairy Queen or any of these other places, you're gonna pay more than that probably. I'll still go to like Dairy Queen or Culver's. I've never seen a dirty Dairy Queen or a dirty Culver's, but I've seen some dirty McDonald's and Arby's and stuff. But finding out that it's just a little bit cheaper to go to these regular restaurants though and order food sometimes. Especially out in Tornado Alley. It seems like you get out in like western Oklahoma and Texas Panhandle and western Kansas, even Nebraska. It's like everything's just so much cheaper. After the Selden tornado back on May 24th, Nikki, myself, and a couple other storm chasers went to a bar to get food or whatever. And if I remember right, another storm chaser paid for us that night. I can't remember, but maybe not. Either way, I remember that it wasn't that expensive. It was cheap. Plus, it's more fun. You go to McDonald's, it's always the same cheeseburger, but if you go to a restaurant, it's always a different cheeseburger. So there's our food review for the day. Now we need a car wash review. Yeah, the little mom and pop places, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. They usually are almost always faster. But like up in Madison, there's a lot of them. And if anybody's familiar, like down on State Street and stuff by the Capitol, a lot of those are little family-owned places, and they're all real nice to go eat. A cold ravioli review from Reed, yeah. Yeah, I usually actually keep track of these places I stop at. Like if it's a really good place to eat and it's like a little mom and pop place, I usually save it in Google Maps. I've got it all in a public map, or in a map in like the list of saved places. And I really should maybe make that map public and put a link to it somewhere. But a lot of places like in western Kansas and Nebraska and stuff, I've got it saved on there. It's just easier, instead of looking through Google to find a place, just look and see what's close, and I've been there, so. At least we don't have to clean off the wipers today. Yeah, look at these mounds of snow here. Now, yeah, the guardrail and everything is there, and it's piled on top, but still, that's a lot of snow that got pushed off the road. Yeah, Kentucky Fried Chicken, their prices went up on everything, it seems like. I'll get off at this exit up here. And we'll look at some of the snow in the urban area. Yeah, I feel bad for anybody that's got to be out shoveling all this. Piles of snow.
Merge onto Willard Street, then continue straight to stay on Willard Street. Continue straight to stay on Willard Street, then
Take a little drive around. How about Quincy? There's some snow. Big piles. I feel bad about these people that don't have anywhere to put their snow. A lot of these houses are pretty packed in here tightly. Go look at some of these cars. They look like they had snow drifts all the way over the top of them. I will put a video up here on YouTube and share it and everything, and I think there's a car under there. In a couple of hours here, I gotta put all the video clips together from yesterday. It's gonna be not very fun to dig some of these cars out. I'm gonna take one more look at that little truck that was buried. It was like a Sonoma or something. It looked like it was buried. This one. It's a miracle that this snowstorm didn't cause more problems. Poor guy looks like he's doing DoorDash or something. He's trying to walk through the snowbank and it's like up to his chest. Almost 2 o'clock here already. Day sure did go by quick. Am I chasing this storm that looks like it's going to hit the Midwest? Possibly. Depends. I haven't even really looked at it. I know it's out there, but I haven't really even looked at it. But I will have to look at it. If it's anything noteworthy, yes. Possible though that storm system could end up having a severe weather threat though on the south end, like Mississippi and Alabama. So if that does happen, then maybe I'll find myself down there. I think I'm gonna go to Qdoba. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know where I want to go. Oh wow. Buried here. No, I don't want Qdoba. There's a couple of like teenage or college girls scooping out that car back there with a coffee can. There's one on the passenger side on her hands and knees with a coffee can scraping the snow out from underneath it. Should really go to an Applebee's. But I don't feel like that. Well, guys, I'm probably going to get out of here. I think we've all gotten the gist of it. There's a ton of snow. The snowstorm definitely verified. No. Yeah, I think that's where we're going to cut it for today. I'm going to figure out my food. But I appreciate everybody who rode along for this whole event. Definitely made it worthwhile. I have to actually be stopped to end the stream here, so let me get up here a ways. It's quite the process here to get the stream up and down, so Home Depot. Let's go to Home Depot. So thanks everybody. Like I said, I really actually enjoyed this. Sometimes it's kind of boring when you're out here on your own, but having everybody keeping me company is always kind of nice. So we'll be back with the next one. Like I said, just keep following the YouTube page, Facebook page, Twitter, whatever. I'll have information about this next upcoming storm system as soon as I can. I'll be back home. I'll be back in Wisconsin by lunchtime tomorrow, it looks like, knock on wood. And I'll spend tomorrow afternoon figuring this stuff out. Yeah. So that's that. So I'll get it figured out. I'm trying to post more to the YouTube community page instead of the, let's see what this guy's doing. Should we creep on this guy? It's a nice snow pile. I think he's proud of his pile. I would be too. That's a nice snow pile. But I'm trying to use that YouTube community page more, just because I know a lot of people can't stand Facebook. So I try to post on the YouTube community every day. In fact, I post more there than anything anymore. So I'll put some details up. And we'll go from there. So I'll put some stuff up later, and I will have that highlight video with all the clips of it on later. So take care, guys. Have a really good evening.